has an ability, he has the instrument, he has the gadget that wears spirits. How can you wear a spirit if there is no density? Spirits can be weighed in kgs. That's Proverbs chapter 16 for you. Proverbs chapter 16 verse number 2. I never knew that my spirit can be weighed in kgs and in tons and in grams. I thought that all of us were the same. I thought that every member of our ministry are at the same level. I thought that every called men of God are the same. And yet God is saying, I have that gadget that can take a man's spirit and know how much you weigh in terms of weight. Imagine if you had that instrument before you choose a man of God. Imagine if you had that gadget before you join a ministry. You are becoming a heavyweight in the spirit. I'm talking to you. I said you are becoming a heavyweight in the spirit. My God. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Knowing what to choose every time, whether you are awake, whether you are conscious, whether you go to bed, when you can always make right decisions, it is coming from the size of your spirit and the weight of your spirit. When your spirit is heavy, when you're loaded in the spirit, you are so stable. You don't always regret over decisions that you make. You are so stable, very decent. You are really anchored on the ground. You say, the wisdom of a man. Listen, wisdom, it is that part of a man that you cannot even see. There and there. You need to take time. And he has to open it up to you. Oh. Look at this. Remember the Bible says, through wisdom shall a house be built. Through wisdom shall a house be built. Through wisdom shall a house be built. Through wisdom, through wisdom shall a house be built. He's not just talking to a physical house, though he's referring to a physical house. He's not just talking about the physical house, though he's also referring to that physical house. He's talking about even structures, even marriage, even companies, even businesses. Any structural thing, for it to be established, it requires wisdom. If a house can be built, let's talk about a house, a normal house, because some of you, like I've said, you are renting. And the feeling that you have now is that it's not the right thing for me to be doing this. You want to own. You want to have your own place. Right? Right. You really want to build. Some of you right now, you've done the drawing of the plans and so on. You want to build. If building requires wisdom, what sort of a structure? I'm not saying every building that you build has to be too big. But listen, of the houses that you own, one of them has to demonstrate the presence of wisdom. There's a place in the Bible where the Bible says, and Queen of Sheba, when she looked at the house of Solomon, what she saw there was wisdom. Look at this. Look at this. What is it that made Solomon to be that attentive, very much alert in the spirit, very active, knowing exactly what to ask for, even in a dream? What is that? How do I get to such levels in the spirit where even when I go to bed, my spirit is so heavy, rooted, grounded? If you see a man going up in life, he's always going up, going up, going up, going up, and you see the rest are coming down. There is a part of that man that you can't see. And you will never see it until he reveals it to you. I've seen people like that. You see now, if you see this man, he's your neighbor, and he's building a house. And when you look at the house, it is so beautiful. And you'd also want to have the same house like he has next door. It is so easy to copy every other thing that you can see because it is visible. But there is a part of the house that you have to ask from the man, which is the foundation. If you're going to buy any property, if you're going to buy an already established structure, you can move around with any agent, property agent that you want. You go to the house. The only part of the house that you can see is the part that you can see. You can take pictures. The beauty of that house is in the structural designs and even the size of the rooms and even the paintwork and everything. But there is a part of that house that you will never view. To a point where even if you want to copy the same plan, you would have to also ask for something that you can't see, which is the foundation of the man. If this man is going up in life, and you look at him and you see him going up every time, it's not just the going up that you have to copy. Because this man, before he started going up, he started by going down. And how deep you go determines how high you go in life. Why is it that certain people are never going down even a bit? Sit down. So it's very dangerous if you can come across anyone in life and you admire what you can see now. You have to enter into that person's life and strike a conversation where he begins to talk to you about the special foundation, the size of steel that he placed in the foundation. Because if you want to also have the same thing in the same area, probably the soils are also the same, which requires a special foundation. And you can have the same structure that people might look at and say, these things are the same. And it calls for the spirit of discernment to know what is beneath before you make a choice between those two buildings. If you are going to buy any of those two buildings, there is a part that you can see that calls for spirituality, for you to discern what cannot be seen physically, to know how deep it goes before you can admire how high it has gone. Do I still have this building in the next 20 years? If that building that you are buying, I don't care the price, even if you have the money, if you don't have knowledge on how deep it goes, it is how deep that determines the longevity of the structure. For how long are you going to be staying there? So most of you people, you have made a very big mistake of admiring people simply because of what you see on the outside. Get close to the man. Let him open up to you. Because most people, they've got a deleted history. Their track record, it's almost invisible. You can't see it. And yet that is what is making them so strong. So Solomon is saying, I want to have that grace to discern between good and bad. Because most of the bad, they appear to be good. Most of the bad, they appear to be good. That's why all of us, most of us here, we are married because we made a decision because it appeared to be good. Listen, you look at something right now, you admire that thing so much and you would want to die for that person. I don't mind if you see, if only I can marry this one. So decisions, if you make a decision before you are given the grace to discern, you buy it according to what you can see. Unotenga imba nokuda kwa madziro. Ndizozo. Imba kune vano zvigona kuti yakanywa pasa igona kamudenga. Na vanaiva vanozviziva kuti nyika ino ine vanoona kumusoro kuvasingaone pasa. Unodizwa zvakanaka? Yakatotsemuka imba unoitengeserwa. Inotanga yanzi ngaipendwe, isati yapendwa inonzi kwa makerekaya. Munozorerwa flower yemupota haiye. Kuna mushe madziro akatsemuka. Igopendwa, iwe unouya ona yakadaro yakapendwa yakatsukirira yakapemwa.